Okay, we're doing it. Everyone calm down. I know we're back. Another episode. Can you fucking believe it? I told you I wouldn't fuck up, okay? I'm still here. I'm still doing it. You're listening to it loud about nothing with me. It's your boy, that fucking thotty booty, bro. The Straight Smoke Show. Only hotties welcome here, okay? Of course. Hold on. Everyone calm down. Everyone calm down. Okay, listen. We got him. He's here every week. He's here every time. Oh my God. It's that cute boy that fucking follows me along. That cutie. Robbie, say what's up, bro.
What's up, everybody?
Oof. Man, he looks cuter than he sounds. I'll tell you that, bro. He's a cute boy. You got to be looking on YouTube. The dude's got a body, bro. That's all I'm saying. Okay, everyone calm down. We're back. We got guests. And this is a hype guest episode. All right, believe it or not, this is always awkward to bring up exes. But before I had the hotties, before I had all my smoke shows out there, I used to do another podcast. Chill out. It was much different, okay? You can't even compare the two, okay? It's just two different stories. You guys, I'm mature now. Then we were doing conspiracy theory bullshit. Hey, it was before conspiracy theories were alt-rights, okay? It was literally when conspiracy theories were just fun about aliens and shit like that. All right, so today I have all the people from my old podcast, The Unbelievable Podcast. Give it up for Brian Frange, Phoebe Tyers, and Kevin Cobbs.
What's up? Give it up for me and these guys.
Can you tell I only know how to do live shows and not podcasts?
Yeah.
Dude, you're killing it. You're like, this is like some daytime shit right here.
Can I just say, Sebastian, speaking of intros, you did my favorite intro ever at UCB with your team. You'd come out and you say, I think you said, all my little babies say wah wah, and the whole crowd went wah wah.
Oh my God.
That's how sad improv people are. I would say, where are all my babies at? And the audience would go wah wah.
Oh,
Pathetic.
You had them in the palm of your hand. They all did it.
Why? Why? Because my parents were able to pay for a couple more classes than their parents.
Yeah, dude.
That's what they were.
Go ahead, Brian. Brian, what's up, you beautiful? Yeah, clear your throat. Make sure you clear it right into the mic, bro. Brian, come on, bro. Bring the A game.
Say something, and then I realized they didn't have the words arranged properly to make a punchline, so I just stopped.
No, go ahead. Give me the punchline. I want to hear it, bro.
I don't have it arranged. That's what they wanted, or something like that. That's what they were hoping for when they got jobs. That's why I stopped halfway, because I couldn't think of it again.
Man, I don't even know what the setup you're going for is. Brian, this is a terrible joke.
Yeah,
That's why I stopped.
a little out of shape, I guess.
I'm a little, yeah.
No, Brian, you look hot. Phoebe, as soon as you came on, Phoebe, what'd you say about Brian?
I said he looked hot. I said he looked really hot.
Yeah. Well, it's because I haven't had a haircut since pre-COVID.
Yeah.
And I've learned how to trim my beard. I've watched a bunch of YouTube videos, and now I trim my beard properly. It used to be a little scraggly because of the way I trimmed it. And now I trim it so it's bushy.
I know. You look like homeless man that went from living in the woods to homeless man living in a motel. It's actually so beautiful, bro.
Yeah, you do. It's a step up.
This is nice.
Good.
Yeah.
It makes you just like masculine, you know?
Yeah. Well, I've gained weight since moving out of New York and coming to LA. I'm like a larger person.
That's
What do you mean?
I'm
Isn't it
generally
the opposite?
I look at pictures of myself from when I lived in New York, and I'm like, man, I am like unhealthily scrawny.
Yeah, you were really small. And
Well, then
you would eat cookies, but you would smell them before you ate them. Like,
Yo, Brian's cookie game was fucked up, Phoebe.
Yeah,
He would be like, man, sneaky. He would wrap them up in napkins and tuck them in his pocket for later.
Yeah, but you would take like 2 hours to eat one cookie because you wanted to savor it.
Yes.
Yeah. So I don't know, dude. That's
for a long time. I used to eat one cookie per Game of Thrones episode. One cookie. It would last the whole time. And I would know how far along we were in the episode by how much cookie I had left.
I don't want to know this.
That's so
I don't want to know
weird.
this. This is for you, yourself only.
That's like Obama level. Like how Obama apparently would eat 7 almonds. I eat 7 almonds a day.
Wait, I think that was the best Obama impression I've ever heard.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm pretty good if you just keep it to 4 words. 7 almonds.
Kevin's pretty good at an Obama impression if it's Obama saying 7 almonds.
7 almonds. Let me be clear. 7.
He's also better at Obama impressions on podcasts, not in person.
Yeah, I'm not going to do that one on
Bill Clinton. Kevin can do a good Bill Clinton.
No, Kevin, let's be honest. Kevin crushes impressions. Kevin
can crush
but only vocally. Like if you get me in front of a camera having to do it, the vocal impressions I can do.
What do you think about Bill with fucking Pedophile Islands? Why isn't he going down?
Nobody's going down. They killed
nobody,
him.
Right?
Yeah, nobody's going down. And
they
also
killed him in prison.
They didn't have real evidence on him.
What do you mean? He's on the. I can't believe instantly I'm going. You guys are sickos. Instantly I go. What's the deal with Pedophile Island? And why is it Bill Clinton going down? I mean, if Joe Biden wins, can't we get to it? Can't we get to fucking taking down some people for Pedophile Islands?
No one has come forward
that goes beyond.
had sex with him.
It's at the next level. I mean, so there's people beyond Bill Clinton that are way more powerful than even the people we know that will never let that happen. And that's what happened. The only true person who could take them down has now killed himself in prison.
Yeah. And then Ghislaine, I like to call her Giz.
Ghislaine?
Yeah. Ghislaine, it just gets away with everything anyway, even though she's a child rapist, and who cares?
She got COVID, right? In prison?
Yeah, they all keep getting COVID, and they're not getting sick enough from it.
Oh my God.
So you guys used to have
a fucked up thing to say. I'm sorry, but it's somebody's grandma has to die, but Jizzy gets to go around fucking shit.
Yeah. What were you gonna say,
you guys
Robbie?
used to have a conspiracy theory podcast. Did you guys talk about this at all?
Oh yeah, Pedophile Island.
So this was a big topic of conversation. And you're now seeing it get super mainstream.
We talked about Pedophile Island before people knew about Pedophile Island.
Yeah.
And we back in 2012, Johnny T, I think, introduced me to Pedophile Island. But it's not just Pedophile Island. We were talking about the NSA listening in on your phone calls before Snowden. We interviewed this guy
before Snowden.
Yeah,
wait, do you hear the heat that this podcast had? Before Snowden, who had to flee the country for spitting truth.
Yeah, well, we were talking.
Brian was saying it.
You mask it with comedy. We were interviewing Jeff Boss, this guy who was running for president and I think mayor of New York City, and he's the one who told us about it early in 2012. He told us about it. He said that the NSA is listening to our phone calls. That's why I always put my cell phone in the microwave for 5 seconds whenever I enter a new building, and the government is trying to poison the peanut butter and the make your own peanut butter machine at the Whole Foods. And he told us, see, that's the key though. You say the truth. You say the NSA is listening into your phone calls, and then you add they're also poisoning the peanut butter machine,
Right.
and that's why he's still alive.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
because he
misinformation
sounds like an insane
agents.
person. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
You say something crazy. You go, there's a pedophile island, and Bill Clinton's a pedophile, and also reptilians are inserting themselves into my chakra. One thing was true. No one's going to kill you for it because you added the crazy thing.
No, I remember learning about Pedophile Island and talking about Lolita or whatever, like the airplane where all these rich guys just get their dicks sucked by 14-year-olds. And I was like, no way. If that was true, I would just be like, come on, there's not an island where rich people are having sex with kids. I didn't believe it.
I didn't believe it either.
No. And now it's it kind of fucks conspiracy theories. Because for it being true, it made all these other crazy ones be like, that could be true too.
Yeah.
It gave it every conspiracy theory a little more weight now, which makes the world scarier.
And as it should be. It's a very scary place, and we should be trying to put these people in jail and know about their crimes. Like, that's good. However, it doesn't make Bigfoot real, just because guys are fucking kids. Like,
there are a few conspiracy theories that turned out to be true. That does not mean all conspiracy theories are true. And that's what our podcast did best, was we did what other people weren't willing to do, is that we looked at the real details of some of these things. With all of these conspiracy theories, as the second you actually look in at the details, it all falls apart. None of it makes sense.
Yeah.
It's all comically stupid, but there are a couple that like, oh, that makes sense. And the Pedophile Island was one of them. The NSA was another one. There was a third one.
If
that
you think about it, it's all these like business oriented, like real human stuff. Like, that stuff's worth looking at. But then when it's like, I got abducted by aliens and like they are populating the universe with my sperm, like, nah, that's not probably happening. Sorry, bro.
When I found out about Epstein, I got sad. Not for what you think. Me and my ex would talk about Epstein sometimes. And then when he finally got caught, I was like, I can't call her and be like, can you believe it? Can you believe we were right? And that was one of those moments where I was like, wow, Epstein brought us together. So I guess it was a fucking broken situation, if that's what made me happy. But I remember thinking that.
Wow.
So you mean when he died, you lost that common ground or whatever?
Yeah, the relationship wouldn't have lasted after he died anyways, let's be honest. That was the fucking, that was the pin that was fucking holding the whole machine together.
I wonder.
Yeah, that's what hundreds of rich people are saying about their relationships with kids.
There you go.
Oh my God.
You formulated the words.
I'm bringing the punchline. These are hard punchlines. And on a podcast, that's not easy to do because they could really fail. And then you're just sitting there and everyone's like, what? What do you mean? And it's like, no, I didn't. I meant it was to say something funny.
Yeah.
But it's hard to do a punchline on a podcast. But I do it. I try.
You know what's beautiful about this, Kevin? Don't you feel like we're back in the unbelievable where Brian takes hold, Phoebe is literally giving real facts, and you and I just sit there like two fucking idiots going, oh, when are we going to do something? When are we going to say something? Brian, I honestly feel... I like my podcast, but I feel at home when you're talking, bro.
I know.
Yeah.
Me too, man.
Yeah, you get to sit back, let them do the work, and then like, all right. For me, it was like, well, all right, here, I'm gonna. Oh, there's a voice I can imitate. Here we go. Here we go.
Yep.
Well, Unbelievable Podcast was great, and it just was so much work. I mean,
yeah.
And then when you look at other podcasts that are like making $700,000 a month on Patreon, they don't do anything.
It's
just
crazy,
talk.
dude.
They just sit there and talk, and we were like, the amount of time I ruined like entire years of my life. For the first like 3 years that I lived in LA, I didn't do anything on the weekends because we recorded on Sunday, and Friday night and Saturday night I would be in my room in the comfy chair in the corner of my living room watching YouTube videos of psychopaths talk about aliens just to find the one funny time they say a word wrong so I could clip that. It would take hours. I would be spending like 30 hours, and then we can't get past 10,000. We couldn't get past it just goes
and then like there's like podcasts like where literally I'm thinking of one where literally a guy will fart into the microphone and they make like $50,000 a month.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's a funny podcast. I'm not shitting on them, but they put no effort into it.
Sure, I think if you're farting on a on mic on a podcast, you're opening yourself up to some commentary, right? We're allowed to speak negatively about some stuff.
Well, I like it, but it's just like, wow, it's the complete opposite approach. It's like no preparation, nothing. Just
you know what pisses me off? Why aren't there people queefing on podcasts? That's all I'm saying. We have men farting. Why aren't women queefing? Ah!
Oh no, Seb.
The point is, we could have done less. We could have done much less and had the same result. We could have gotten the same.
Wouldn't have been fun though.
But we made something that was good. At least, I think one of the issues with the Unbelievable Podcast is that it wasn't always good. When we first started, it was much better the last 2 years than the first like 3 or 4 years. So like if we started off as good in the last 2 years as we were, then it probably would have been much more successful. But people are listening to the podcast even now. Our
Interesting.
we have hundreds of more ratings on the iTunes store than we did when we finished the podcast.
Whoa,
Really?
weird.
Yeah. We're still at
Wow.
4.8 out of
I
5
mean,
stars.
Yeah, and Brian, there's always time. We could always come back into it, donate, all of our time to it again.
This time though, you should let me and Seb do all the research and all the work.
Yes.
Yeah, and we
Yes.
we drive it, and you guys just come in and.
I mean,
Brian-
I missed it, and the fans were so nice. And
I heard some good news. So they started a podcast. This is crazy. The podcast, the fans of it started their own podcast based on the podcast that they created, right?
Yeah.
And the guy Rob that produces that literally started liking podcasts because of the Unbelievable podcast. He now produces that podcast, and he just got hired to be like a producer at a podcast network. So he's like, you guys were the first people that I liked on podcasts, and that made me start my own
Oh my
podcast. And
God.
now I make money from it, and all of us make $0 from podcasts. So people that listen to us are successful. So fucking tune in. Make sure that you listen. You might be making more money than me soon. Okay.
well, that's
like-
amazing.
Tale as old as time, but that's great for Rob. I know Rob; he's awesome. So
Yeah.
shout out to Rob.
Shout
Great
out
job.
to the unbelievers
Shout out
all
to Rob
out
and the
there.
Believers.
Yeah, it was nice. Yeah, I love that stuff. And we also all know each other from a little comedy theater. Wait, hold on. Let me get it out. We all know each other from a little comedy theater. Not the biggest boy in town, but ooh, he was tough, this kid.
It's like a little jazz club that
Yes.
all the real cool cats know about.
If you want a real improv, you went down to this place. All the hip people, they knew about the
God.
Magnet Theater.
There's a guy out front wearing a beret, and he's got a goatee, and he's
He does
smoking a
magic
cigarette,
tricks.
and he says, "Go in there if you really want to laugh."
Yeah, they say password, and you say zip, and they say zap, and you go zop, motherfucker.
Oh, man. Terrible.
Well, you know what? It was a little theater, maybe a little odd, but I'll tell you what. Out of the 3 big ones, the most suited to survive COVID, I think.
What do you mean?
I think the Magnet is the most suited to survive COVID out of any of the 3 big theaters. We already know that UCB didn't survive. And
You don't gotta tell me. I put all my fucking eggs in that basket, bro. I'm sitting over here with a dry toast. I'm like, I got nothing going on anymore.
the Magnet must have known something that we didn't, because they set it up so that they could survive a pandemic. And
How do
we
you know that?
I don't know if they intentionally did, but they
must have known.
inadvertently did.
They must have known that
They
there was
must
a
have known.
pandemic coming at some point, and
They-
they set it up in a way that it was more of a community and less of a business, and therefore you're never going to lose your theater as long as the community wants to have a theater.
Oh, yeah, that's so
Wow.
true.
I think it's also helps that they have a landlord who's understanding and not going to evict them.
Yes, and also can't sell a theater right now in Midtown.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, who are you gonna kick out? Who's gonna come in after COVID?
Right. Exactly.
But we all met there. We all did. Phoebe and Kevin and I. Brian, were you on the team?
Yeah, Brian
Eventually.
was on. Yeah.
Oh, eventually, yes. That was right before
pissed
I
on there
left.
because they wouldn't let me. No other team wanted me at that point. I was too much of a troublemaker or something.
Yeah,
It's
Brian
because they
was-
were like snowflakes before the term snowflake existed. You know?
No, Brian was a little particular. We'll say.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? You don't
I
want
don't
to.
know, man. I
You
don't
don't
know.
want to go to a deli with Brian and then mess up his sandwich order. That's
No,
a
Brian
half-hour
had a
conversation.
reputation. Brian had a reputation of being like, "This is bad. That wasn't funny."
Yeah,
Saying
I
that
just
to
said what I
people.
mean.
But I like that. I think. Well, I guess it's just a
Because
taste thing because
You care about comedy, Kevin.
I care about comedy and I don't like the false, like peppy, upbeat thing that
Oh.
exists in a lot of that, where it's
ABC Family. I
Yeah,
used to call it the
that's-
ABC Family of improv theaters. The free form, if you might say. Who knows what it'll be? But anyway, you know what? I can't fuck with Magnet. Was nice to all of us.
Mhm.
I
They
love
give-
the Magnet,
Me too. I only
Yeah,
have
it was
love.
Fine.
even
It's
though
fine.
I'm no longer on
Phoebe's on the fine side of that shit.
I mean, it was fine. They didn't like. They did. I mean, I got to do tons of stuff there and stuff, but
They did like you.
they did. Yeah, but I wasn't. I was not the Magnet. I wasn't right for Magnet.
Sure. I think none of us were.
They didn't.
I think
want
that
me.
the entire team we were on together was like the
That's where they put us.
yeah.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah,
like,
you put
that, like-
everybody.
these are all the bad eggs. Let's put them together.
You
They
want to know
didn't
the
like me. I made everyone makes bad, hard jokes, but I don't know. I just don't think they didn't really feel safe having me like be a teacher and stuff like that.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
because
mean, like,
they just want all the teachers to be like, it's all
Yeah.
about sunshine
I
and
just
rainbow
like a lot.
farts.
They wouldn't want me to be a teacher there.
They
I'll go-
wanted you to be a teacher there,
No, I don't.
didn't they? Didn't
Yeah,
they ask you?
they asked me. Never mind.
Yeah.
I got mad awkward because I didn't know what to say then.
No, it's
because
fine. No, it's fine. I don't really care. I just
No.
I'm like, the magnet was fine. I got to do my stuff there, but it was kind of pussy city, and like I don't.
Yeah.
Yo, put that on the awning. Pussy City. Now you'll be getting all the improv boys going there if they think it's
Yeah.
Pussy City.
Pussy city in the other way. Yeah, I don't know. Just like two thumbs up. Yeah, I just don't like that stuff.
Of course. No, I get it. I mean, they taught like patient, slow improv.
Right, which is a good way
It's
to learn
good.
improv. Yeah.
It's
I think-
good for a period of time, but eventually just riding the bike by the beach is boring. You know what I mean?
know. It's
Like, can I pop a wheelie once in a while? What's
oh
going
my god,
on?
and it got so kind. Everyone was so. I remember coaching. I always had to like encourage people. I'm like, it's okay to play mean people in an improv scene.
This
It's
is-
okay to like play someone you don't like or agree with. Like you don't
Mhm.
have to always apologize. Like everyone was so polite all the time. I was like, this isn't fun.
Not us.
Yeah.
Brian, what are you talking about? You were on stage. You
rolled in
never did.
there.
On stage, Brian, you were the softest one out of all of us.
What did I do on stage that was so soft?
I mean, you
No,
were just
that's
you were
not true.
kind. No, you don't
But
think
that's not what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about on stage. On stage is whatever. Off stage, we had this attitude that we are currently describing and exhibiting right now,
yes.
and that attitude is not the way the theater likes to roll.
No, Brian, I do remember one time in a scene, I called you, I said that you had a pussy mouth. And then you decided to say that you had like a real pussy mouth. And we did the whole show that you had a vagina for a mouth.
Wow.
And it was disgusting. And then I think you ended up having vaginas all over pussies all over your body.
Oh man.
And it just got so fucked up. And I think you got fucked by like everybody on the team at one. I don't know if you remember
Wow.
this, but we did a whole show where you had a pussy for a mouth.
This was Improv 2014.
I mean,
Before,
that kind of makes me miss improv. Not because I think that bit is something I want to revisit, but because I just like the idea of like being able to come up with stuff on the spot.
Well, like it was great. For you to just take that and have it be your actual mouth was pretty great.
You know, one thing I really hated about improv that I knew that someone was a bad improviser if during a scene that was going poorly, they decided to kiss someone else on the lips.
That's very Magnet too. Also,
And it happened at the
everywhere.
Magnet more often though than I've seen in other theaters.
Dude,
everywhere.
absolutely. The Magnet's like a weird, like that's a very like sexual experimental place or something where everyone's
Yeah.
sort of. I always felt got that sense where people kind of came there to like explore their sexuality.
Theater
Yeah, a
kids.
lot of open relationship
Yeah,
vibes. You know?
I know you're right. Theater is, but I thought like, oh great, this will be great. I can just like make jokes all the time. And it's like, oh wait, no, everyone's trying to have sex with you. That's
Yeah.
It's everybody. It's not just men. It's not women. It's
Yeah,
everybody.
that's
The
what I
Magnet
experienced too. Everyone was trying to hook up with it. Yeah, it was wild. I was just like, oh, I don't know what to do. There's just so much D and P all around me. I don't know what's happening. I really couldn't focus on my comedy for all those years. I wasn't just a fat kid that lived at home with his mom and dad.
You should have stuck around at the Magnet more, dude. You would have like, you had a lot more sex or something.
Yeah, I guess I missed out.
Yeah,
No, what are you
That's
gonna
okay.
do?
Everybody-
It's
got fired. So
yeah, please. I'm okay. I'm
Would've just
fine.
gotten fired eventually. Eventually, we all did.
I mean, it happens, but it was we all like did a lot of comedy together for years and years and years.
Oh my God, I miss New York. Hey, if Epstein was an improviser, what theater do you think he would take classes at?
The
What do
pit.
you mean? The pit,
No,
bro.
no.
Oh
wow. No, no, no,
UCB.
He'd be down at
100%.
Reckless. He'd be at Reckless.
Oh,
Oh,
maybe
he'd be at
Reckless.
Reckless. This is wild. This is actually wild. This is reckless. And you called him Epstein?
Oh my
You
God.
called him Epstein?
Yeah, well, you know, you got Jew's got a Jew.
Yeah, okay. I'm not. Yeah, you,
Is Reckless Theater still there?
No, dude. That went
my God.
down in the, Me Too.
Oh my God.
That's why
I
I'd go there.
remember-
The founder was like a Me Too.
We don't really know what happened,
Oh,
but
God.
he got fucked up.
I found their website. So I remember their website being so lame. They had this paragraph that described their theater and why it's different from other theaters.
No.
And here I have it right here.
Brian, you came prepared for a podcast. I said, just tell me something you're passionate about. But go ahead.
Actually, okay, so this isn't the original blurb that was on the original website, but it's just as bad. So I'll read this one anyway.
This is wild.
Reckless theater classes awaken and strengthen the individual and the ensemble, counterweighting confidence with connectivity. Unpacking every declaration with celebration. So this is
Oh,
about the
no.
classes
Is it
open.
rhyming?
This is Dr.
This-
Seuss.
This is after the theater closed, I think, and they were just doing classes.
Wow.
Right.
They came up with a lame, pretentious blurb even after the theater closed.
Yeah, because before the blurb, and I'm paraphrasing, but it was like, you can never say no to someone here. You're not allowed.
Oh,
I'm,
Oh my
oh no.
Oh my God.
It was. I'm kidding. But it was.
Of course. But that was.
But it was something like that. Yeah, it was like.
They were trying to differentiate themselves from other theaters, and they would say things like, "We here at Reckless are a little different than your usual improv. We face the suggestion with abandon. We open ourselves up to the unity of the universe and expose our true souls." It was like stuff like that.
Oh no. Reckless.
Definitely like the
Yeah.
the Nexium of improv theaters.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah, definitely. Big on that.
It's what would happen if the people at the Magnet were never bullied as children.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Yeah,
Brian.
the Magnet is definitely a bullied zone. Like that is like you're right.
It's a safe space for bullied kids.
Yeah, it really
Yeah.
is.
But
And
I
as,
love
and as a bunch of bullies, we didn't
Oh.
take to that.
no, we were the bullies.
No,
We were
I would go
bullied.
into the bathroom and flush the toilet during stupid scenes.
On purpose, because if you didn't know, this was a comedy theater where it would get so quiet sometimes that you could just hear a toilet flush
Yes.
as the comedy was
You know,
happening.
Speaking of that, there's a great SNL sketch from
Yeah,
like
the
a couple
SNL
years ago.
sketch.
It's Fred Armisen doing a one-man show,
Uh-huh.
and it's
Oh,
like
yes.
he's basically just making it's like a trailer for a one-man show off Broadway, and he's making fun of one-man shows, but they shot it at the Magnet.
Oh,
And
no.
part of one of the jokes in it is that a guy like flushes a toilet midway through, and it's Bobby Moynihan. He just comes out and like interrupts the show. He's like, "Sorry about that," and like goes back to his seat. But I'm convinced that they had to have. I think they went to the location that wasn't in the script, and they're like, "We have to get that. That's too
Yeah.
funny."
It's
Because
so
what theater would have a bathroom in the theater?
It happened all the time, and of course, no one was ever laughing during a scene, so you could always hear the toilet. And then the improvisers would often mention it, so it was like
Yeah.
always like, "Oh, who else is here?" And it was just bad every
I-
time.
Oh
I
my
could to
God.
what Phoebe's saying. I remember before our group would go on stage. I remember multiple times going into the bathroom, peeing, and like having my hand on the handle, waiting for a big laugh
Yeah,
to flush. And I remember like usually it's like, okay, flush, but like there were multiple times where I was just like standing there for like 5 minutes. There's
Oh.
no laughs. And
yeah,
I'm
dude.
just
All
like-
of us were like trying, and then eventually I was just like, it's not.
Yeah.
There's not going to be a laugh.
No.
Anyway, it was really
But
good.
there was no other place in New York City that would have allowed us to go on stage that often. And there
Yes.
were crowds. I
Yes.
credit the Magnet Theater with a lot of my development.
No,
Me
it's
too.
true.
I tell everybody like the Magnet is where they let me become good.
Yeah.
They
You wouldn't become good if you're just the UCB. You wouldn't get on stage enough.
No,
Yeah, you
no.
don't
You need to be
perform.
bad in front of people. That's why comedy sucks. It's not actually hard, in my opinion. What's
Mhm.
hard about it is that you have to learn in front of people.
Mhm.
It's uncomfortable more than hard, in my opinion. Brian, do you still do stand up?
Well, not anymore. I mean,
What do you mean? Every other person's got. What, you didn't buy a pickup truck?
I'm not doing.
Drove down to the Coles, just start telling your jokes about why aren't there. Well, there's bears, and then they're called lady bears.
Yeah, the fact that you
sports-
know that, the fact that you know that is a sign that I should have stopped. But I think
that was one of your bits, the lady bear bit.
that's my classic bit. I already had been winding down on stand up, not because I don't want to do it anymore, but because it was too much effort to get on stage enough times to be able to work out new material. When I was in New York, I was able to get up like 5 times a night between open mics and shows. And then I moved to LA. I didn't really know anybody, and you have to basically be, Maria Bamford in order to get booked on things. And because they're here, everybody's here. Like, why book me when you could book Andy Kindler and he's just available, So, I didn't do as many shows, and I was winding down. And I always said, like, when it becomes easy again to get stage time, I'll start doing it. And then
I think that was a Richard Pryor quote as well. He said, I'll get good when it becomes easy again to do stand up.
When it becomes easy to get stage time, when it,
excuse me.
I would need to become.
That's what he said too. Yeah.
I would need to become successful elsewhere. And then
when Lenny Bruce got arrested, he said, one day people will be able to speak freely on stage, only if it's easy for them. But if it's like difficult to do, don't fucking worry about it,
Well, so when COVID happened, I'm definitely not doing any like Zoom stand-up shows or anything like that. That's
I did one of those, and it made me want to kill myself for a couple days.
That to me is
how'd you do, Kevin? How'd you do on the Zoom stand-up show?
It's a blur. Probably not very well. It was like early in quarantine, so it was like I wasn't used to. I just felt insane, and it probably bad. I probably did really bad.
That's beautiful.
Yeah,
that's beautiful. All right, let's get loud about shit. Okay, let's get a little bit loud, Mr. Brian. Mr. Brian. Yeah, Hollywood Brian.
Yeah.
There he is. Okay. Mm-hmm. Come on. Tell me you want to get loud about something. I asked you if you could bring a topic.
I'm the Appleist, and I'm gonna yell about apples. That's what I constantly do.
I just want to say this. I sent an email.
Yeah.
What was the one thing I asked for?
You said no apples.
I said no fucking apple talk.
Yeah.
You're so boring.
What else am I supposed to yell about? Huh?
You're so boring when you talk about apples.
No, I'm not. I'm an international apple expert. I have been on podcasts and radio shows across the world. In the past year, I've yelled about apples in New Zealand, in Australia. I even was a guest on a blog / show in Abu Dhabi. That's how wide Abu Dhabi, the food chic.
About apples.
About apples. I yelled about apples. They all love it.
Okay, give me the apple spiel then.
The apple spiel.
Yeah, what's good about apples? Why should I let you get loud about apples?
Well, I'm the Appleist. I have a blog, theappleist.com, and I rank and review all the different varieties of apples, and I've become a well-known worldwide, internationally for my apple expertise. I've been called an apple influencer by others. I'm not going to call myself an influencer, but I am an apple influencer according to others. And I am the reason why apples have started advertising on podcasts. I'm the reason why.
No apples are advertising on podcasts,
yes,
bro.
They are.
I never hear no Macintosh commercials in the middle of a podcast.
You hear Sweet Tango commercials. You'll hear Jimmy Pardo talking about Sweet Tango apples. They don't do as good of a job as me because they're not actually passionate about the apple, but they do talk about it. They're advertising. The apple industry spent $10 million advertising the Cosmic Crisp, a failure of an apple. It was a brand new apple. It was supposed to be the big new thing in apples, the Cosmic Crisp, and it wasn't very good. No one knows about it now, but they spent $10 million advertising it.
Why?
Is this real?
Yeah, the Cosmic Crisp.
Why did we need a new apple? Like, what's the?
There's new apples all the time, but the Cosmic Crisp, I was very disappointed at. Overhyped, disappointing, atrocious, cotton candy grape type apple.
Why are there new apples?
Well, it's a whole industry of farmers. You know how they have farms and they go on their farms and they
Yeah,
walk.
but like, what else can you do with an apple? Like, they all kind of taste.
Oh, well, the apple. Why have anything? Basically what it's just a fig. But you come up with a new apple and you think you can sell more apples, and these different apple varieties, they compete against each other. So if you're an orchard that has Honeycrisp apples, you're competing with another orchard that has the Envy apple.
It's
And
almost
so-
strains of weed.
Yeah, it's like strains of wheat. Exactly. And there's thousands of varieties of apples. A lot of them are, heirloom apples that are extinct, but there are hundreds that are in circulation today that you can buy at different grocery stores across the world, and they do compete with each other.
Yeah.
And different apples rise to the top and other apples sink to the ground. For the longest time across the world, the Red Delicious apple was the #1 apple in the world. It's also the shittiest apple. It's a piece of shit, garbage,
Why?
coffee
was it
grinds,
number
and
one?
leather. Why it's the #1? Because of distribution, because people didn't know that apples could taste good until other apples like the Honeycrisp started coming out, and then followed by the Sweet
I'm
Tango.
not a big green apple person.
No, yeah, I mean, most green apples are not good munching apples. Like a Granny Smith apple actually injures your gums as you eat it. But if you want a good baking apple, you want a pie, you get a Granny Smith. Green apples are good for pies. Green, but I don't rank baking apples or cider apples. I only rank munching apples.
I gotta be honest. I don't like apples at all.
Well, what apples have you
I
tried?
probably have
That's what
had
everybody
one
said.
apple in the last year.
Dude, an apple a day.
An
No.
apple a day keeps the doctor away.
I'd rather just take vitamins, dude. I don't like apples.
Fuck vitamins. They'll turn your dick green.
You know what I do think? Wait, what are they gonna do to your dick?
It turned it
Vitamins
green.
will turn your dick green. Apples will turn it back. So if it happens, you eat an apple. Apples, you just haven't had the right apple. That's why the apple.
What's the apple I should have? What variety?
Have you had a Sweet Tango yet?
No.
Okay, well that has been historically the #1 apple. Now I will say this: the Sweet Tango quality has decreased because they've been giving out more licenses to other orchards, and it's been diluting the seed. The seed has become diluted, and now the apple doesn't taste as good. And I kind of occasionally am embarrassed to recommend it because sometimes you get a Sweet Tango that's not as good. It's been #1 for a long time, but I think it's going to be overtaken soon by one of these hot, sexy up and comers.
And you said
How can you decide? Like in Whole Foods, you'll know it's a Sweet Tango.
it says.
Yeah, there's signs, but I can tell an apple by look, feel, and taste without a label. I'm a
It's like a
Wait,
wait. So you're blaming the podcast, the podcast, why you didn't go out Friday and Saturday night? Not all this bullshit, bro. I can't believe you have a girlfriend. This is wild talk. This
I've
is
got a
why-
girlfriend.
But Brian, I
I
have a
Supports
question.
my apple habits.
Phoebe's. What's your
I feel
question?
like apples are so sweet. They're
Mhm.
so, not. I feel like they are. They're really sweet. So, is there an apple that's like not as sweet?
Well, do you want sour, or you just
No.
want not quite as sweet?
I just want like not so sweet. I like a crisp,
Crisp.
fresh.
A pear? Do you just go to a pear at that
You
point?
like pears.
Well, yeah, actually, there is an apple that tastes quite a lot like a pear.
Yeah, I've had that before.
You've had apples that taste like pears?
Hmm
Were they bad apples? Like, what is an apple that tastes like a pear?
I just know that I've had apples before where I've been like, that was the apple. And I don't remember what it was. And then I have another one. I'm just like, damn, this felt like I ate a piece of candy.
Yeah, well, I always recommend the Kansai apple if you don't like sweet apples, because Kansais are super sour, and those things you bite into. I always say have a Kansai, but only have one in your entire life, or else you'll go insane because they're so sour they'll drive you crazy. But if you're like that, if you're the type of person that like goes to raves or something, then you
No,
can have Kansais every
I
day.
never was a raver ever.
I think I could handle a sour apple. I think that I think I could handle having a sour apple and not going crazy,
The
Brian.
Kansai will drive you mad. You'll be homeless on the side of the street by the end of the week if you have a Kansai twice a day.
Oh my god.
Jesus. Well, you know what? I have to say, at least you know a lot about apples. You
Oh,
know,
yeah.
it's not like you want to talk about apples and then you like don't know anything. You like know way too much.
Mhm.
I know a lot about apples, and yeah, I mean, I'm actually running out of apples. It's hard to find new apples because the grocery stores, they have the same apples every time, and you go. I used to be able to travel and have apples in different places. And now I'm running out.
What do you think about apple picking? Do you get pissed off when you see all these basic people enjoying what you love all year long for 1 week?
It depends on where you're going apple picking. I mean, you can't, if you're going apple picking in the Northeast or something, and those people are, they know what they're doing. Apple picking in LA is atrocious. It's like going to a farm in a desert.
Yeah, I have a friend who just went apple picking in rural Georgia, and it sounded very different from upstate New York. There was a hog race.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool.
Sounds cool.
Yeah. Well, what's not cool is one of them was named. He was like, "Oh, who should we bet on for the hog race?" And the lady was like, "My money's on Donald Rump."
That's awesome.
Yeah. Different kind of crowd, you know?
Yeah, Donald Rump.
I don't think it's a compliment to be named after a pig, a hog.
Yeah, I guess so.
If someone named a hog after me, I wouldn't be feeling all good telling people about it.
That's true.
That's beautiful. Brian, thank you for talking about apples.
No problem. I will say though, you know, as we're all New Yorkers, that New York has some of the worst apples in the world.
What are you talking about?
What about Jersey? I'm from Jersey, man. People go apple picking.
Yeah, I mean, I would say New York and New Jersey are very similar because it's a colder climate, and the apples need to have thicker skins, and they become mealy on the inside. You like, you know,
they do.
Macintosh are from New York, and like you want to bite into one of those things, the skin, it's like a leather glove is wrapped in a coffee grinds.
What's the idea? I was trying to cut you off so you didn't have to finish, Brian, but that was beautiful. What's the ideal states to go apple picking?
Well, the best country in the world for apples is New Zealand by far. The best state is Washington State.
All right, guys, here we go.
There you go.
Wenatchee, they claim to be the apple capital of the world, but it's really in New Zealand. But there's a sign.
Washington, so I remember the apples; they were good.
Nice. If they ever do a show on history, I hope they get you as an expert on apples, Brian, one day.
God, did you know that one time I was contacted by, I think it was the History Channel, to be one of the talking heads in an alien documentary.
Which one?
Oh.
One of their stupid, I mean, one of their nonsense, nobody knows what it is, but sure. I remember I interviewed for it, and they ultimately didn't select me for some reason, but I was this close to being one of those. It would have said Brian Frange, alien expert or whatever. It wasn't a comedy. It wasn't a funny thing. It was just like, let's have Brian. I think maybe I was too lighthearted in the interview or something.
Yeah, they probably want someone that's got to really sell it that like the aliens are real.
Yeah.
Too skinny.
Yeah, maybe too skinny. Maybe you look like the alien too much.
Like
maybe you do kind of look like an alien, bro. I hate to fucking burst your bubble. You got alien vibes.
All right.
Kevin, do you want to get loud about something, bro?
I think what I want to get loud about is fucking, because of quarantine, I gained a lot of weight, right in the beginning, because I was just eating whatever I fucking could, right? So last couple of months, to balance that out, I went on the keto diet, however you say that.
Beautiful.
Well,
right?
You don't have to know how to say it.
But the problem is, dude, I fucking miss carbs so bad. Like I would fuck up a potato right now. I miss
potato.
That's potato, or like baked potato or chips, or
you didn't even have a potato?
No, man.
What do you mean? This is how you know Brian's skinny, because he doesn't even know carbs are in potatoes. That's how you know that all of us can't fucking chew a cookie for a month, bro. Okay,
dude. We don't all have that kind of self-control.
Wait,
if you put cookies in front of me,
are you keto or paleo?
Keto, I think.
Keto.
Just like no carbs.
Did he say paleo one time, Brian? He only said keto, and then I like, you literally go, no, you're misinformed about your whole topic.
And you know what? It worked. It worked on me. He just gaslit me into thinking I was wrong about the thing I've been doing for months.
So when you started the Atkins diet, did you decide that you wanted to lose weight?
Hey, leave him alone. The kid's on South Beach, all right, bro?
Yeah. So yeah, man.
Are you gonna do that for Thanksgiving? Was my question.
I'll give it. I've taken little I've given myself mini breaks. You know, and yeah. So, but I fucking miss it, dude.
Do you think it's making a difference?
Yeah. I lost my girlfriend Melissa is saying I lost 30 pounds, but I don't believe her.
No, she knows better than anyone, bro.
Yeah.
Come on, your girlfriend knows better than anybody.
That like March, April lockdown in New York.
Sure.
Oh, mom, I was fucking wolfing down snacks.
Oh,
Wolfing down
gonna
the
do?
beer, the snacks, all of it.
Yeah, but you're locked down. Of course you're eating. I mean, I've been on a diet. I went to Weight Watchers when I was fucking 12 years old, bro. I've been on a diet every other week for my whole life.
Yeah,
It
and
sucks.
I
know that's kind of sad to say, but never mind. No, it was cool. It wasn't. It was awesome.
By the way, I just have to share that Melissa just showed me a picture of me before I went on the diet with my shirt off to prove that I could have lost 30 pounds.
Wow.
He's like, look how fat you were.
Well, that's beautiful that your girlfriend has a picture of you with your shirt off when you were at your fattest.
Yeah, it was when we went upstate in like June and I was swimming. So it wasn't like just me with my shirt off for no reason. I hate hearing people talk about their diets, so I'm sure everyone hates hearing this, but
yeah, I mean,
my point is,
no, it's actually making me feel good. I love when skinny people are on diets. It actually
I'm not
it
skinny,
fucking
dude.
hypes
I'm
me
not,
up.
dude.
No,
Come on,
bro, it hypes me up so much when I hear skinny people are on diets. I'm like, yeah, fucking feel that shit, bro. You know, I love that. I wish every skinny person to be on a diet. I mean, this is a little hateful, but I don't care. You know, as you heard, I've been dealing with diets since I was a little boy.
I know. Well, I didn't. I never went on a diet as a kid, but I do remember the moment in middle school where my mom like looked at me and was like, "Do you think maybe we need to go to the Husky section for your jeans?"
Whoa.
And it wasn't like mean spirited. It was like we were shopping, and I was
Truthful.
like, "None of these jeans fit," and she was just like, "We got to go to the Husky section, bro."
I one time when I was younger, I asked my mom, I go, Mom, how big am I? And she said, I go, if I because I was obsessed. I was like, if I could leave my body and see like my body 3D, like who would my body look like? And you know who she said? The neighborhood boy called Choco Taco. Because he ate one time 12 Choco Tacos from ice cream truck. She goes, yeah, you're about as fat as Choco Taco.
Dude, this is I'm sorry to this is a non sequitur here, but that kid Choco Taco reminds me my first job. I was a lifeguard at like a fancy country club.
Mhm.
And there was this little kid who was actually a cousin of someone I knew, who he was there they were like the pool rat kids whose parents just dropped him off, and they were there all day, every day, all summer. And this kid was like running around with his friends. He's like a little chubby kid, but whatever. At the end of the summer, his parents, because to buy stuff at the like concession stand, you would give your family's membership number.
Yes.
He ran up a $1,200 bill in chipwiches.
That's rent. He ate an apartment worth of chipwiches. You know what? I never thought I could have a son out there, but I'm worried. I'm fucking worried. I got a little boy. Let a couple slip through, you know? Jesus. Well, I'm happy. You know, it's good that you like took care of yourself before it gets out of control.
It's an ongoing struggle. You got always.
Do you drink?
Yeah, but no beer.
You're drinking vodka,
just wine or spirits. Yeah.
Oh, nice. Yeah, so you're just like turning the corner to become an alcoholic
Yeah,
rather than be addicted to food.
Yeah, fuck yeah, man. Because I figure when this is all over, we're all either going to need to go to AA or Weight Watchers. You know what I mean?
That's beautiful. It's truly, those meetings are going to be full.
Those meetings are already full. I'm sure they're doing Zoom.
Of course.
Yeah.
You know.
No, I know an AA person who's doing Zoom.
Hey, bro, you're not supposed to say that.
He didn't say who.
I didn't say who it was.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sure.
It's Kevin. Kevin.
No. I do have a family member who I won't name who would go to meetings and then would come home and out people in AA to me. Like, you know who I saw today? And they would name like my friend's dad.
That's awesome.
What the fuck?
Is it? I didn't know it was something that you weren't allowed to say people's names.
You're not supposed to talk about it. If you're people, they'll say they're like, I'm in the program.
Is that the first rule of AA?
Yeah.
Don't talk about AA.
I've been to meetings.
And they didn't work.
Holy shit, the fucking wind went out of the room for that one.
I know, but like I don't.
Holy, not for alcohol, for
weed?
food. No, for food.
OA?
Wait.
NA.
NA.
No, OA.
NA is Narcotics Anonymous, right?
Yeah, I should have went there, but I didn't. No, I've been
I
to.
was gonna say, dude.
Yeah,
So is it working? Did it help? Were they like?
Did it help? I don't know. What do you mean, did it help? Did it help? I hate the shit. And I think it helps a lot of people, but for me, it was just like a bunch of us being like, "Isn't this hard?" It was just like it was a hard circle. Everyone went, "It's so hard," and then someone would be like, "I feel so bad shitting on it," but just wasn't for me. It was, and if it's for you, that's beautiful. I still haven't found what's for me.
Yeah.
To be fair,
I wish it was for me. What's up?
Yeah.
to be fair, I was just gonna say it is really hard.
It is really hard. It is. I stopped doing drugs, but stopping food is so hard because it's about self-control rather than complete abstinence.
Yeah, like when Brian was saying that when you said you ate a cookie over the course of what was it? Game of Thrones?
Game of Thrones, yeah.
I could never do that. I could never control myself. It takes me like 3 minutes to eat a meal. I just wolf it down.
Yeah, it's some serious shit. But I mean, so I've been to meetings. Whatever. I don't care if I know. I'm hot as fuck. You kidding me? I'm the hottest dude that does podcasts.
Yeah.
You kidding me? I went just to fucking floss. You know what I'm saying, bro?
Literally, you would go and you'd do the floss dance, right?
I do the floss, and everyone would say, "Sit down. This is a serious meeting. You're making a mockery of us and the entire program."
You'd be like Jesse from Breaking Bad, be like, "You're my customers," and then you do the fucking floss. You remember that scene?
Of course, when he was how they sold meth was by going to NA meetings.
Yeah.
I didn't remember that scene, but I remember that.
I think. Here's another hot take. I think that show overrated.
Interesting.
I don't think it holds up.
I just watched it, and it does hold up.
I loved it.
Me too.
I thought it was incredible.
I liked it when it was on, but I think it doesn't deserve to be on the Mount Rushmore of TV shows. That's my hot take.
I agree.
Uh-oh.
Whoa, we got a hot Robbie agree. We got a hot Robbie only likes fucking The Sopranos and Mob Wives.
Dude,
so
I
we
love
cannot get fucking Robbie's opinion.
I like The Wire.
Sopranos is the best show ever.
Yeah, I
and
agree.
then The Wire is a distant second.
And then Breaking Bad.
No.
I don't know.
No, I don't think so. Then I don't know what 3 and 4.
Yeah, I don't know what either, but not Breaking Bad.
No.
Because it
You're
doesn't
not
matter.
talking about
Why do they have
comedies.
Breaking
Are you
Bad?
separating comedies from dramas?
I guess we're talking about prestige TV, whatever that is.
Why
Yeah.
they hate on Breaking Bad? I think it's great. I love Hank. Jesse's
I
awesome.
love Breaking Bad. I think you're forgetting how good Breaking Bad was.
I think it's good, but I don't think it's. I don't think it's.
Know everybody.
I think it's very good, but I don't think it's has the depth of some other shows that are deeper and
like what?
more like Sopranos, The Wire, Mad Men.
I'll tell you what. I watched
Ooh,
Sopranos.
Mad Men's better than.
No, I don't fuck with that.
Yeah,
I don't fuck with that.
I think so.
What are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do?
My top 3 shows of all time are Lost, God Friended Me, and Sailor Moon.
I like
Damn, look at that. There's another
Oh,
punchline.
my top 3. Ready? The Bee in Apartment 23.
Also from Breaking Bad.
What's up? Yeah, that could be Breaking Bad. Oh,
She was
I love
from
it.
Breaking Bad. The main character
yeah, she was
is,
hot.
is Jesse Pinkman's girlfriend who died in her sleep by puking up her drugs.
All right, I don't want to think about that. That makes me fucking itchy on the inside. Phoebe,
What up?
do you want to get loud about something?
Sure. So I hate cults.
Hate
Hmm.
cults. Not
Hot
the
take.
cults. Not the cults, but cults in general. Wow.
I don't hate them. I'm fascinated by them.
Okay.
But I do hate them. And
Did you ever feel like improv was a cult?
oh, absolutely.
Yes.
100%. I mean, everything is kind of a cult of itself. I mean, we're all cults of ourselves just by being on Instagram and having people follow us and then participating in keeping up this facade and spreading this message. Influencers, blah, blah, blah. It's all culty. But yeah, obviously improv, definitely anything.
But I heard a cult is that if you don't have the ability to leave, and I think that you do have the ability to leave.
No, I
I
think
feel
all
like
cults-
improv
all
is
cults say that.
yeah.
All cults say that.
All cults say that you have the ability to leave. That is something.
That is true.
all
I
cults
just
say.
watched that terrible Nexium
Yeah,
documentary.
Nixium, yeah.
And he said he's very much like, look, like you don't have to be here, but then like they'd ruin people who
I mean,
left.
all of them say that they can leave. Scientology will say you can leave, but they all have like, collateral on you, especially like Scientology or Nixium, or like they will say you can go, but God won't love you anymore, or you're turning your back on your self growth. Like there's lots of ways, and like improv, yeah, you can leave. People leave cults all the time, but
and then they usually get a writing job somewhere, and
Yeah.
they finally realize that they were wasting time and they can have a career somewhere else.
I mean, even in improv, you would have somebody there being like, you should take the next class. And it's like, well, I can't afford it. Here, I'll pay for your class. Like someone, someone's
Here's how improv is a cult. If you're thinking about leaving, they'll say, "Hey, have you ever thought about becoming a coach?"
Yeah.
And then all of a
Yes.
sudden, all of your money comes from coaching, and then you really can't leave because that's your only source of income.
Another thing is though, is that you don't end up making any money. Like you don't really make any money, but
They're probably the fucking top of it because they're like, we'll pretend that everyone can have Netflix specials.
yeah.
We'll give them a new goal that they could set their eyes to.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Even though there was tons of other shit that fell into place for them, that won't fall into place for everybody else. I mean, not everybody has the same experience in a cult too. Like some people, like from Nixium or whatever, will be like, I had a great experience. I took it for what it was. I took the classes.
So
And then other people end up getting branded and having sex with Keith, and have to fuck what?
I was just gonna say, before we move past it, the latter or the former group you talked about, people were like, I loved it. It turns out I worked for a woman last summer and I found out recently she is still part of Nexium.
Oh,
and she's
no.
all up in that documentary. She's still pro Keith Raniere.
Oh, really? That's sad.
I had no idea. Like I met her it was like this bartending gig, and I did one shift, and I was like, "This is a nightmare." Sorry, I'm not gonna because it was just very poorly run.
Crazy.
But she
He's
apparently
gone to jail for 120 years.
and she is outside of that jail every night, like dancing with a bunch of other Nixium people because they like want him to be freed.
Now, yeah, that's really.
I had no idea. She was like, I didn't even know what it was at the time, but.
I mean, they paid the Dalai Lama like $1 million to come put a sash around his head. It kind of blew up to me, just even the
Wait,
Dalai Lama.
Nexium did that?
Yes, absolutely.
You can't just breeze by that fact. They paid the Dalai Lama, so the Dalai Lama could be bought.
The Dalai Lama is also just some symbolism of like some weird representation of some not real thing. Like the whole spiritual thing can be sort of destroyed in your mind if you start to follow people. The whole thing and why I'm so obsessed with it is I don't understand why people turn their lives over to other people ever, really, or like listen to other people like, oh, the Dalai Lama or this person has the answers. I think it's so weird. I mean, I don't know. I just think it's all so weird.
Sure. I mean, I'll tell you why I'm scared of cults, because I think I'm weak. I think I could be sucked into a cult. And it would make, I was thinking the other day, I would love to be in a cult. There would be comforts, right? I'm going to be in pain no matter what, a little bit. So wouldn't it be nice to at least know, everyone experiences the same pain and I'll get the same rewards a little bit?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Definitely.
But this is COVID lows. They're COVID lows.
Everybody's susceptible to it. Doesn't matter if you're weak or you're searching for whatever. Like everybody, if you're smart or dumb or lonely, like, sure, maybe you're vulnerable because you would love more community. And like, that's why improv was so nice, because like it offers you a community, and like, that's what we want. I think that's different than wanting the answers, which is a lot of reasons why people get really sucked in. If you just want community, you're probably going to get the best out of a cult situation. But if you want the answers to like why we're here, or why you're suffering all the time, and you're gonna put all that into some other asshole who's gonna tell you, then you're probably gonna, get finger fucked by him.
It has happened a lot.
Oh my God.
I mean, that's eventually where it goes. Is it like it just can't? It never stays. I don't know.
I have the website for Nexium.
Mhm.
They have a little blurb on the website. It says, Nexium awakens and strengthens the individual and the ensemble, counseling the confidence of connectivity.
Oh, fuck you,
I'm
dude.
reading the rest of theater.
I was like,
Read
oh,
the reckless
that's
fucking
insane.
mission statement. Jesus Christ. You know what? Oh, no matter what, at the end of all the exciting stuff is always something sad. Like even Nexium, it's probably exciting going in. Improv.
Oh,
it was
definitely.
exciting to
Yeah.
start.
Mhm.
I remember getting butterflies.
Yeah.
I got butterflies. I was so excited to do it. And then it slowly became something that hurts.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
Oh,
how
yeah.
I felt about Splash Mountain. Because I get excited.
You know, you're a guy that, Brian, if your socks get wet, oof, you're talking about that for 2 months, bro.
You gotta know when to go. You gotta know when to jump out. I think if there's this saying, you
Of the
stay too
cult.
long at the fair. Like, don't stay too long at the fair. Enjoy it, have fun, but you gotta know when to go.
This is beautiful advice from Phoebe. Phoebe's saying, join a cult, just leave early. You know? This is beautiful, Phoebe. Phoebe, this is why we get loud. So people know what to do. I literally loved doing podcasts because of doing it with you guys.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
It was literally so beautiful. I would always have so much fun doing it. And everyone should go out and listen to old fucking episodes of the Unbelievable podcast. There's still a Patreon. You can pay for it so Brian can finally find out.
Not there. The Patreon's closed down.
No, it's not. It's open for Brian. You go to Brian's Patreon. You can find out who stole his laptop. If you know, you know. Bro, you know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Yeah, bro. If you know, you know. Okay?
Wow.
Bro, guys,
Yeah.
everyone, this was so beautiful that you were able to come on and we were able to fucking bullshit and chit chat like this.
Yeah, yeah.
Thank you
love it.
so much for doing it.
I love the pod. Thank you for having us on.
Yeah, I wanted to do like a reunion episode because I know that there are people out there that literally messaged me when the pod started being like, hey, can you have a reunion episode? You got to get Phoebe and Kevin Brian on, yada, yada, like instantly.
Wow.
And I was like, yo,
That's
give me a
a
little
good thing.
space. Let me fucking do me for a second. And they're like, when is Phoebe and Kevin Brian coming on? You got to do all of you. You got to get a reunion. Literally, at least 10 people messaged me.
Wow.
And then I said, did you like the other episodes? And then they never responded. So, so I'm hoping to get 10 more listeners from this.
You will.
Brian, do you want to plug anything?
I mean, I just love the Unbelievable Podcast fans, and I hopefully one day we can give something else. I know we've given a lot already. I think we don't owe anybody anything, but I do think that I had fun doing the Unbelievable Podcast, and hopefully one day we can give them something new.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Kevin?
I would say I also have a podcast called Sports Lords with a Z.
Yes.
We talk sports and we talk all kinds of things. Listen to that. And yeah, the other thing I would plug is it's too much to explain what it is, but follow Toilet Corp on Instagram or Twitter or Facebook.
Beautiful. We'll make sure to fucking link those so no one even has to know what it is till they click. I love that.
Yeah.
You're clicking blind on that shit.
It's just fucking funny ass shit, man.
Phoebe?
So check out season 1, 2, and 3 of Search Party on HBO Max because I'm in it with my
Fuck
twin
yes.
sister. And let's see here. Season 4 maybe will come out sometime.
HBO Max.
I just started
On
2 days
HBO
ago.
Max. Also, if you follow me on Instagram, it's just my name, Phoebe Tyers. I started making t-shirts and they're pretty cool. So
They are really cool.
I made a ton more and I'm gonna put them out. It's called my store is called Lydia's Closet.
Wow.
And
I love that shit.
don't
I'll make
check
sure to
out.
fucking plug that. I'll make sure that fucking people know about that. That's so beautiful. Mr.
It's fun.
Robbie, you have your Instagram. Plug it, Mr. Robbie, Mr. Cute Boy.
They know me. Follow me on Instagram.
All right. Shut up, Robbie. You're fucking done. Okay. As always, follow the pod, rate, review. We love all our smoke shows out there. All those thotty boo bodies. Please Keep sharing. Let people know that we're out here fucking hustling, doing our thing. All right, Robbie, hit the fucking music, bro.